Hi, this is Connie Carey, your Business Law 2211 instructor, and I am here to talk to you about Unit 4, which is the last unit that we will do, of course, and a very important due date. Unit 4 is due on Tuesday, July 30th, 2019 at 11:59 p.m. It is very important that you get your work done by then because there's not a lot of wiggle room in terms of me getting grades into the records office. If you have done 2 units and you email me, you may be eligible for an incomplete. And if that's the case, you should contact me and we'll proceed from there. Unit 4 is about commercial law, the Uniform Commercial Code. So it is different from common law contracts and different from what we have studied before. Now, in the course of doing this for over 20 years, I've had students say, nah, I don't want to learn about the Uniform Commercial Code. And most of you have done very, very well in this class. I think an 8-week business law class is tough, and I don't want to see anybody give up now. The Uniform Commercial Code was actually created in the 50s, a long, long time ago, and it was law to be uniform across the United States in every state. It has been passed, the Uniform Commercial Code, by all 50 states. So it is now the law in terms of commercial practice. So when you go to the grocery store and you buy grapes from California and they come into the Chicagoland area, there is a law about shipment contracts, destination contracts, things like that. That is uniform to each state. It makes things a whole lot easier. The unit consists of 4, really 5, but 21 and 6 are merged together, chapters. For each chapter, there is an assignment, and then there is one quiz at the end. Chapter 18 talks about Article 2 of the Uniform Commercial Code, which is sales. Article 2 is really what we are going to emphasize. It's the only article that we'll study about. There are 9 articles altogether, and there are other articles that you study about if you take Business Law 2. But Article 2 talks about the sale of personal property, not real property, which is not part of Article 2, and not services, which are not part of Article 2, but the sale of personal property. And really, the whole point of the Uniform Commercial Code Article 2 is the idea that business people want contracts to work. So contract terms are actually more lax, more lenient than they were in common law contracts. No price, a court will determine a price. No delivery terms, the court will set up delivery terms. The only thing that the Uniform Commercial Code is strict about in terms of buyer and seller is quantity. If there is no quantity, there is no contract. What do a few bushels of grapes mean? What do some mean? Depends on how people define it. So that's Chapter 18. It really sets up what a sale is and then how contracts are formed under Article 2. Chapter 19, once again, we're talking about Article 2, talks about shipment contracts, destination contracts, what happens when items are stolen, and then sale on approvals, sale or return. We all maybe have gone out and test driven a car. That is basically, what are the terms there? What does it mean? They take a copy of your license, copy of your insurance. I've heard that if you go out and and test drive a really expensive car, which I never have, that sometimes they'll take like a credit card too. That's kind of interesting, like the really fancy cars. So that's Chapter 19. Chapter 20 talks about what happens if there's a breach of contract under the Uniform Commercial Code. And they have various rules that are laid out in Chapter 20. Chapter 21 and 6, those 2 chapters are combined, and it starts out talking about warranties, promises of assurance for certain goods, that goods are fit for the use that they're intended. If you buy a mountain bike, you want to be able to ride through mountains. And then that's Chapter 21. What happens if there's a breach of warranty? That's all under Article 2. And then in Chapter 6, we'll survey products liability. As I said, for each chapter, there's an assignment, and then there is a quiz at the end. The due date is very important, July 30th. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact me, either email or my cell phone. I am here to help you. As I say, I have been impressed with the work that the vast majority of you have done. Just make sure we get these last 4+ chapters done by July 30th. Contact me if there's any problems, and contact me if you want an incomplete.